Hello everyone, welcome to this webinar to address the democratization of AI within the SME sector. I'm Fabrice Drenot, Chief Customer Success Officer here in Access. At Access, we are passionate about providing the freedom to do more to all the sectors that we are serving, from hospitality, legal, or even NPE. And obviously, we are in the middle of a significant transition with AI becoming pervasive in all the sectors and all the solutions we are serving. Obviously, Access is very well positioned with Access Evo, providing a platform for all those SME companies to be able to benefit of the value of AI while using the solution that we are putting on the market. Every business, no matter how small, has to benefit from this AI. And what we'll discuss about today is how do we break the barriers which are preventing those SME companies and SME users to engage and take benefits of AI. It's going to be a lot of cultural change that we'll talk about and what are those risks and concerns. We will have two of our best guests today to share their experience from a customer standpoint, but also from a vendor standpoint. So first of all, Joe, thank you for joining us. You want to introduce yourself?
My name's Joe Quindon. I am CEO of Riva UK. We are a specialist textile manufacturer of accessories, serving into automotive, medical, defence, and a number of other industries. And we are a small team of about 60 people, predominantly made of sewing machinists, and we are based in Wrexham. They've been going for about 30 odd years, and my role is just to try and steer and navigate the business and make sure it's successful. And that's what I intend to do.
Thank you, Joe. Freshly promoted, Noor, congratulations. Welcome with us.
Thank you.
You want to introduce yourself?
Of course. So my name is Noor. I'm a Chief AI Architect at Microsoft, and my role within Microsoft in the Customer Success Unit is an extension of Microsoft's mission, which is about empowering every person, organization on the planet to achieve more. And my job is literally to make my customers successful, from ideation to design to implementation and all the way to bringing value into production.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today. So obviously, in the next couple of minutes, we'll share with you all the concerns, address some of the tactics and strategies on hopefully make you inspired to address the first step and to get your first step within the world of AI across all the various disciplines that you are serving. So let's begin by addressing why your company, being in the SME space, needs to take advantage of AI. First of all, this is no longer a luxury. This is a competitive differentiator, and this is one way for you to improve your operations. Couple of key elements. First of all, it helps you really automate some repetitive tasks, which are not necessarily the core value of what you're doing, being able to make them agentic, and we'll demystify this word of agentic. Second, from a data perspective, it's going to help you compute set of data overnight without any effort and give you insight that you may have already, but taking hours and sometimes days. Finally, this is accelerating programs, and we'll see an example of how this is changing the way that programs of creativity and interaction with your own customers can be addressed. So a lot of benefits is there. 95% of the companies that we are engaging with in the SME sector sees benefit in implementing AI. Now there's a set of concerns, and again, we'll address those concerns throughout this session. First element is related to data security, which a lot of the SME business are worried about. Second one is related to job replacement, and the third one is all about privacy. All of those concerns are valid, but on all of them, there's ways to address them, as job replacement is definitely not what's going to happen on the market. This will augment the capability of your organization today to be much more customer focused by removing all the tasks that we talked about earlier on, which are very repetitive and not necessarily client facing, which is really making yourself differentiating. So let's address in this session really why you need to be on an AI program, investing your time and augmenting your team and your organization through AI with the interaction that we'll have with our two guests. So now the theory is one thing, but let's be a little bit more practical and see how we are implementing AI in the SMB business. So I will hand over to our friend Joe so that you are able to explain us a little bit how and why you have made your first step within the world of AI.
Okay, so as an SME and predominantly manufacturing, our business and success in order to attract customers depends on delivering on time, in full, and that comes down to careful planning and being able to deliver, but also being able to be agile as well, so we can adapt to what the customers need. In order to achieve that, we need to be able to process our data and be able to make decisions that are based on success and be able to help deliver to the customers. That's what they need. They need everything tomorrow. That's what the customers need. That's the way it works. So we want to be as competitive as we can. In order to do that, we need to go through as much data as fast as possible, whether that's the operator speed, logged in times, and all the different processes we use. But we found that to support their value-added process and be able to achieve more out of that, the way that we've utilised AI is by having the information that comes out of our MRP and all the data that we have is then processed, and we use the AI algorithms through in our reporting. It's not something I'm an expert at, in no way at all, but we realised that the reporting enabled us to be able to make faster decisions and feed us up to be able to respond faster to customers. So that was our key stepping stone for us. We've even employed a data analyst who supports that, but it was myself that started doing the reports, talking about 8-9 years ago now. It used to take about 2 to 6 hours over a weekend. It was heavy lifting for a small business like us, but we found it was essential and it worked. And people felt the benefits as well as the customers. So by using the AI, it removes that type of heavy admin that comes with the data. And the fact that we're a small business, we've invested in a data analyst, we think is a sign that we want to progress in that. We want to give our customers the best they can. The same as what Noor referenced there earlier. If our customers are successful and we can deliver to them, then everyone wins. And that's what we did.
So what were the challenges that you faced into this first step, the first tools in the AI water?
Well, the first tools are things more simplistic, things like we've all got our phones and we all can manipulate images and all that kind of thing. So small items like that were kind of key stepping stones. But regarding the data side of it, I mean, that's one of the things that machinists won't necessarily realise that we're doing it. We haven't walked in with a massive AI banner saying this is what we're going to do. We're not going to transform the whole business, because I think sometimes that can be a bit daunting as a process. Yeah. So what we found is by kind of a soft introduction and kind of bring it through with a couple of key people, everyone's feeling the benefits whether they're aware of it or not, and it's just try it, just use it. We're all using it whether we're aware of it or not. So using it to something that is beneficial for the business and for the customers, and that's what we want. We need to be competitive. So yeah, I think that's my main key is just try it. Just try it. I'm sure Noor's going to say exactly the same thing, but that's it. People are generally sceptical of it.
So in this journey of inspiring our users, whether it is within your organization, within our organization, but also throughout our customers as a vendor, what about Microsoft? How do you steer the usage within your ecosystem?
So it's a multifaceted approach to adopting AI. There is obviously the process, there's the technology, but most importantly, it's the people. You have to be able to win the hearts and minds of people in order for them to be able to adopt and use AI.
It is not a technology problem.
It's not solely a technology problem.
Not at all.
There is a lot of hesitancy in terms of people kind of thinking, oh my God, AI is going to steal my job. But this is exactly the same what happened ages ago when, for example, spreadsheets and calculators and the internet was introduced. And all of a sudden, accountants were very hesitant. Oh my God, it's going to steal my job. Yeah. But now look at what is happening today. So I firmly believe that AI is going to be the fourth industrial revolution as we move forward. But the question is, how can we get people to trust AI? So the question around trustworthy AI, how can we use AI responsibly? How can we put sorts of governance and security around it? Because without all of that, the trust will collapse. And this is something that Microsoft will always heavily lean in with our customers to help build this trust, to help build these kind of platforms, and ensuring the governance and the security, data sovereignty, and all this goodness around, for example, your data remains your data. It doesn't go to train underlying models. It doesn't happen when you're working with Microsoft. This is part of our trustworthy AI. Similarly, when it comes to security, how can we ensure that your data is secure and stays within your tenant, within your remit, and even within your organization, who has the right access to which agent, which is AI tool, which data source, all of that stuff. This is where Microsoft is helping to build that culture. But also, additionally, there's a conception that AI is the silver bullet that will solve everything. I have some customers sometimes come to me and say, I want to do something with AI. Excellent. What that is.
What do you want to achieve?
And my advice always to my customers, start with the business process. Remember the 3 pillars that we talked about? Process, technology, people. Start with the process. Why do you want to use AI? What is the exam question that you're trying to solve for? Put a dollar value on it in order for you to be able to be successful. Otherwise, none of that adoption will happen.
We are all about AI is not a strategy. We have a strategy, and AI is to support this strategy and to accelerate it. Back to your analogy with Excel or how the accountants are using Excel. You're in the suing industry, right? Which is an industry went through massive transformation. And you adapted, right? And you're using AI.
You wouldn't have thought as well. I mean, another thing that you were saying there about the security side of it, that's absolutely pivotal for our customers. I mean, we work with large OEMs, big brands. We're a business-to-business solution. Okay, we can't advertise what their products are, but they trust in us that their information is secure. We've got multiple NDAs, multiple security that we put in place, cyber security, and I think using the right AI tools is key. And I think educating people on how to use AI, you want to scare them off. It's not that scary. I mean, once you start using it, it's fine. But I think Microsoft, as an example, with Copilot and the way that they've utilised it, and the note taking from Teams and transcribing notes, it really does take away some of everyone's day-to-day meetings, remembering things that you've tried to say, and having those, you do forget, but it really works well. So leaning back into what you're saying about how it helps us, the sewing industry, you wouldn't have thought it would instantly be a key to AI sewing. That's something, and I'm sure they will try and get it onto sewing machines, but because we need to be flexible and agile for our customers, we were looking for a solution that suits us, and that's what you're saying. It's kind of like, how can you justify? I mean, yes, we've invested in a data analyst, but that's after we saw the benefits of the data, and then the data and the analyst with the AI there support the business as a whole to be able to justify certain areas of expenditure and how to save money. I mean, that's what you're saying there. If there is a saving that can be made, the business justification is key. And that's it. I'm not going to spend it if it doesn't serve a reward.
CNC machines didn't change and didn't replace all the jobs, didn't put your business down. Exactly. And AI won't make the business down, it will accelerate your business.
Yeah, it's exactly the same example as kind of Noel was saying about accountants being absolutely petrified they're going to lose their job as soon as Excel spreadsheet came out. AI being there and that technology, when the original cutting was there and people are concerned about automated cutting machine versus having the large old kind of cutting machines, the big beds that everyone had. When we first adopted it, they were very concerned they were going to lose their job. But that key skill, it's the skill and the craftsmanship that goes into the role, and it's the human that develops that. As you were saying there, one of the pillars, it's about people. Yeah. And they utilise AI as a tool. We're sewing, the sewing machines aren't going to use it every day, but we will use it and they will feel the benefits. Yeah, that's the way we look at it.
So my advice personally to anyone who's a little bit hesitant to AI, use AI to augment your natural human capabilities rather than being worried it's going to take away from it. Think of it as an enabler, think of it as a platform from which you can launch to a new orbit, if that makes sense.
Supercharge the people, supercharge the people. And what I'm always saying, especially in our world of customer success in Access, is the machine will give you more insights. The data will provide you more insights, but you will still have the need of the human to make sure to be the trustworthy, to be the sanity check of this insight that you're getting from the machine, to make sure that this is relevant for you, but you will also trust the human more, right? And it's a combination of the machine and the human to be guiding you. So you remove actually a lot of work, which is maybe the tidy work of data analyst and finding the data, aggregating the data, finding the insight. All of this is done to repurpose your time much more on the effective client trust, client relationship, doing your job, which is really a positive thing for everyone.
Yeah, but it's not even just the data handling as well. It's like you referenced there, when you have to do research and you have to look into new subjects that you're not aware of. AI is an excellent tool for doing that, especially in us as a B2B bespoke manufacturer of textile products. We all get involved in so many different industries, and I'm sure you do as well. You'll be dragged into something completely different on a day-to-day basis. And so for us to understand that at a rapid pace used to take a long time researching. Various different tools on the internet, you Googling through, looking through all different items, whereas now you can put in what you're trying to pinpoint. I need to know about this specific specification, this in relation to this particular customer, and it can then have a report, and then you can even summarize that report into a bullet point, and you can walk into a meeting much more prepared than you were before. And it's just, as you said there, it's augmenting, it's helping you get to that.
Kind of examples of benefits that you have already identified, like those very short-term tactical win that you referred to?
Wins. I mean, even just getting my weekend back, it's like 2 to 6 hours processing data between the close of play on a Friday and the opening back of the factory on Monday. It was key for us to be able to capture data. We wanted it to be a live analysis, but we found that there weren't systems in place to be able to do that at the time we started doing it. But as the industry's improved and as a lot of the software has improved, and we've all seen the changes that have happened recently with a number of AI options that are available to everyone, I think it's to save that heavy lifting, and I think the speed to be able to focus on from the actually generating reports to actually acting on the outcome. And that's what we want to be doing. We want to be actioning results and making people feel in the value added side of the business, which is sewing for us. If we haven't got a needle going through the material and producing goods, for us that's not productive. So yeah, that's what we need. So the fact that AI supports us to be able to focus on the value added part of the business really does help for us, and that's what saves the heavy lifting of the data and the admin side of it, which is what we kind of freed ourselves up a bit from.
So you were a very early adopter. Congratulations, to save your weekend. So that's a benefit, the main benefit that you got, right?
It's selfish, yes, but I think we all want to do that, and we want to do well out of jobs and do well for the business. So that's it.
So from that statement that you saw this value, as much as we see the values as a vendor, how have you been? What are the steps and what are the tools that you use to bring this within the organization to make sure that your team, our customers, are also using AI in their day-to-day and starting to adopt it step by step? So the techniques.
I think it's really early stages. I think it's things like even improving your communication across from your emails. Just being able to edit your emails and being able to have a faster way of trying to communicate, as I'm struggling to do now at times, of what the benefits are. So you could just blurt out your email and then through AI, and you can come and actually say, actually, that is what I need. But not relying just on that. You then have to edit it to make sure, does that sound like me? Because people are very skeptical about talking to a computer and that type, and you don't want it to feel like you've lost the heart and soul of the business, because it comes down to people run businesses and it's about people. So having AI as a tool, and I think that's the way you need to sell it. Don't do it as you are changing your whole life. Do it as an added benefit. We've all got little things in life that we lean on to make our lives easier, and I think that's a key part of it. And I think that's
freedom to do more, not doing something different.
Look at that,
right?
Perfectly
right?
right, yeah.
No, it's true.
No, it is, yeah.
That's the same example that we are having in our own organization. People willing to do big things, but actually nimble improvements to empower every single step of your day are benefits that everyone can get in a very simple implementation.
But as you say, it's very hard to nobody likes change. We naturally fight against change just as humans. And I think our brains aren't designed to cope with multiple change, but the more we can try and lean into it and try and adapt to it, in 5 to 10 years' time, we're going to be looking back on this and just thinking this was just a stepping stone as opposed to a revolution and a complete. It will creep in, whether we want to or not. It will happen. We're evolving towards it. So take control of it, lean into it, use it.
So you're talking about 5 to 10 years, not going that far. What are the key projects that you are having ahead of you, right? You're already changing the way you're planning your factory. What are all the big steps that you are having with AI?
So the big changes for AI for us was kind of like, we're now looking to, Access is a very good example of that, an area of the business of just logging in and logging out, as opposed to your traditional clocking in and clocking out cards, which everyone used to have, where you punch your time in, you punch your time out. What we needed to be able to see was real-time data that enabled us to be able to see how many hours people were in the building. It saves on the payroll process. It saves on the analysis of being able to ensure from a safety point of view, from an evacuation point of view. It gave us live data. And so they're the small wins. They're the easy things that makes your life a little bit easier. Yes, there might be a little bit of investment, but some of these, there's no investment at all. And you can just do it. It doesn't have to be this big, scary beast of a system. You just do small changes.
So you open the door to Noor and the wider ecosystem of big customers, which are the experts, and they are having AI specialists and people dedicated to AI, which SME can't necessarily afford. How is the big world of those big companies related to AI? What is the difference you are seeing there?
So I am seeing approach towards agentic AI, as in you have multiple agents that are capable of doing different things, and there's a lot of myths around what is agentic AI. There's a lot of hype around the world around what is agentic AI. In my definition, agentic AI is something can do from the very mundane of writing a poem in Shakespeare style, all the way to helping you troubleshoot a machine on a shop floor, and how you can help that entire ecosystem, or make orders for you, or even have a conversation with it in order to make a summary of a meeting, or make even notes of a consult for some of the customers that I'm seeing. So the world will move from just isolated systems into agentic systems, where you can have an integration or a conversation with an AI agent, and then you can build systems of agents that are able to communicate. But this is where the human ingenuity will have to be able to drive this. The question will go back again into what is your success metrics? What is the process that you're trying to improve? What is the value that you're driving to the business? It's not always going to have to be saving dollar value. No. Sometimes it could be, like you mentioned, you are going to be using deep research in order to educate yourself, and also to drive better dollar value for the deal that you're coming with. Does that make sense?
What you're offering, it can help. What the business is offering, it's all about how we deliver that to the customer as well, and about how we can package as a complete solution. And I think we're only scraping the surface in comparison to what Noor does. I mean, we do a minimal amount of it, but the impact is felt across the business, and I'm sure there's lots more we could do. But I think it's just, for us, it's one step at a time. And I think that's the fear. People are naturally cautious of kind of like even terminology and the whole thing, is thinking, but you're using it anyway. I mean, you've got it in certain things that the phones are using, and as you're saying about agentic and kind of the way it all comes together. And I'm sure Access are doing very similar processes as well.
We're in this process of actually creating agents, coordinating those agents, and making them more relevant for our customers. So I will take we'll take two examples actually on onboarding, right? So our sales organization are having a lot of conversation with customers. Customers are explaining their goals, their business goals, their context. That's very rich information that needs to be repeated potentially, or is distorted in the implementation phase. How can we are currently taking transcripts to extract this information from the sales conversation, as well as public information on the web, to really pre-configure customers on their specific implementation, so that you don't have to repeat and you don't have to wait, nor have a human do repetitive task of configuring the environment. That's a reality already. We're doing this. On the back of this, when the customer starts to use the software, our telemetry, the telemetry of which features are they using, we are able to extract those features and understand what is the next best step for the customer in their journey of adoption for their own business benefit. And again, an agent is doing this work of guiding what is the next step, bringing this back to a real human this time, to have the conversation with customers, to take their hand and drive them to the next value. And two examples of very tidiest and very cumbersome activities which have little value from a customer perspective that we are automating to repurpose the time of our individuals towards customer-facing activities.
It's essential in offering a total package to the customer. The customer wants an easy solution. The customer just wants to be able to either place an order or get delivered service or get delivered what they need to be able to achieve what they need. It has to be focused on the customer results, but also making people feel comfortable when they're doing it as well. I mean, you said it is about the people, whether it's the customer, internal stakeholders, or whoever that is, or in your employees and colleagues. You want to make it as frustratingly free as possible. That's really as a win.
Talking about frustration free, in your world, Noor, what are the biggest fears and the biggest constraint that you see which could prevent the SMB business, the SME business, to really adopt AI? What are those? You touched on security.
Quite a lot. So there is the trust in the outputs from an AI algorithm. So this is, or a generative AI. AI agents generally and generative AI is non-deterministic by nature, by the nature of how it's being designed, by the nature of how it's being built. So you'll have to be able to be very precise with your instructions. There's a lot of misconception that AI will all of a sudden, I'm going to say a few words and just going to whip the whole thing up for me. But this is not the reality. You have to put in the work with it.
Yes.
So there is the misconception. Secondly,
The magic,
right?
it's magic.
Secondly is around governance. Am I using the right tool for the job? Am I having the right consideration of, for example, GDPR or the EU AI Act that is coming in force? Am I putting this already in consideration? Am I adding the layers of security and governance on top of that? Am I having the proper guardrails and content safety? How can I ensure that my platform is trustworthy by design, it's secure by design? And again, this is something that Microsoft will always help with in terms of white papers, in terms of technology, in terms of governance, in terms of just speak the words, and someone from Microsoft will be able to work side by side with you to get you into that success state. So it's a large range of problems and potentially worries. But again, I will always go back to why there has been articles in the different news outlets that almost 80 or even 90% of the POCs in AI are failing.
Yes.
But why? The question is why. It's not because of the limitation of the technology. It's because of the unrealistic expectations from a platform. And this is where we need to have some sort of, I'm going to call it mechanical empathy. So I need to be able to understand what are the limitations of the technology that I'm working with, what is capabilities, what it is able to do and what it is not able to do. But equally, I need to have empathy towards the people who are going to be using it. So for example, I was on the phone yesterday with my GP surgery to try to get an appointment. I was in 25th in the queue. I couldn't wait. I just hung up. It's just not going to happen, right? Now imagine that there is a conversational AI that you can talk to on the phone, no queues, no nothing, and it will be able to pick some of the notes, and it's meeting me where I am. So how can I integrate that, adding the security, adding the governance without compromising any of that?
I think it's like kind of, you were saying, kind of managing expectations as well. I mean, there's a couple of things you touched on there, but it's like, it's not going to solve everything.
No.
And it's only going to be as good as the information is put into it. Someone will have had to have originally started, the algorithm started to work.
Yeah.
And if you've got unrealistic expectations when you walk in, it's not going to solve everything.
So on that note, then how, as an SME, I'm starting on AI, how do I measure my success? How do I measure my maturity to say, well, actually, I'm getting there. or I'm at a range 2 out of 10. How would you do that in your world, in Microsoft?
Dollar value. Add dollar value to whatever use case that you're having. Add clear objectives of what you want to do and how much money this is going to either save you or give you success extra, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Is it driving more value for you, for the business? Am I choosing, again, go back to the 3 pillars, process, technology, people. Am I having the right process in mind?
Yeah.
Am I engaging the right people and working with the right people at the right time? And am I utilizing the right technology?
Yeah.
Because not all agents are built equally. It's, like I mentioned, it's a huge spectrum from conversational to data analytics, to making decisions, to helping you to deep research, to capturing meeting notes. You need to use the right thing for the right job.
But I think sometimes it's even understanding. A general fear can be of people not knowing what is out there.
Yeah.
And that's it as well. And then again, knowing what is out there and what's safe. I think that's the other thing.
Well, you were all about curiosity when we prepared this session, right? Yeah. How to be curious, how do your mindset is making the big difference.
Yeah.
In terms of
you need to be,
what is the art of the possible.
You need to be actively engaged and actually want to achieve that. And I think Noor's absolutely spot on when you're saying kind of like, what is this going to achieve? Is it going to attract more customers? Is it going to make our life easier? Is it going to save money? And I think choosing where you're going to focus on has to be. If you think, I'm just going to adopt AI and it's going to magically solve everything, refer to there as the magic wand, it's not. It still involves people and delivering something. It needs to be something achievable.
So I have a customer of mine in manufacturing who decided that they want to implement AI to help the shop floor people in the factory to troubleshoot machinery when they go awry. So they will be able to say, I'm in area 21, I'm having problem with machine such and such, and this is, by the way, on kind of a walkie-talkie kind of device. Yeah. And the AI will walk them through how to troubleshoot this, but equally how to hand over the notes from one shift to the next, so that this is a seamless process. So they started with something really tangible. When the machines are not working, I'm losing such millions of pounds per hour. Yeah. How can I leverage that? How can I fix that? I was having problems with the handover. How can I fix that? So they started with a clear objective that they wanted to do, and it's super powerful, super successful to see how this is happening in real life.
Yeah. But I guess they didn't start it from zero. They had a knowledge-based already right there, so there's steps to get this into.
I could see the benefits of that straight away. It's like, yeah, because we have got a similar process, and that is something that we could adopt quite easily. And I think that'd be, again, downtime of machinery and then investment of engineers, the people that are going in. That's got a cost, and if you can instantly say, we have together managed to resolve and save that.
Yeah.
So Joe, you are sold, right? You are sold. You have invested, you see the benefit, you're continuing to invest.
I do, yes, I am.
You will continue, right? What advice would you give to an SME business owner who is contemplating going there, starting? Where do you start as a small business owner?
Yeah, I've thought about this quite a lot. I thought, just try it. It really is. I know it sounds so simple to say, but you won't experience the benefits. Don't try and introduce it across the whole business. I think if you're too aggressive about anything you try to do that, you're going to get a reluctance from people, and you'll get a human instinct to kind of like fight against change. Whereas if you kind of like say, look, just try this and see how it works, you will find it will just organically grow and it will organically work, and you'll see the benefits.
Yeah.
And I think Microsoft's saying the same thing, and I think it's, even you can do it with, you've got it already. Whether you're using it or not, it is there. So just try it.
And there's also something that is based in, is entrenched in the DNA of Microsoft, for example, which is growth mindset. Yeah. Growth mindset, how can I do the next thing? If I fail, that's fine. I have learned something not to do.
Yes. And
move forward with what good looks like. So that is also a mindset. This is where it starts with the people, starts with the culture. Yeah. So this is something that we need to be able to discuss with our customers.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer of that as well.
One of the elements I would like to touch and highlight is really, how does AI helps you for creativity within your business and finding new ways of diversifying yourself?
I think I think for us, it's a little bit different. So we do everything from roughly about 100 to about 500 new products per year. So we've got a lot of development, a lot of design development, a lot of bespoke items. And a lot of the time, trying to visualize that can be challenging. So we always, historically, and I've always said, make something first. Just make a product so you've got something in your hands, something tangible. But with the way that we're working now, and a lot more kind of like, it's a lot more easier to be able to email and across kind of like locations, it can be difficult sometimes sending something. So what we have started doing, and this is kind of like doing graphics more. So by putting an input, you can actually create a visual representation of what the customer wants to see, and you can do a presentation which would have taken a series of graphic designers and people that are experts in it. Could have taken a few weeks, days, back and forth to kind of like narrow down. You can do it in about 45 minutes to an hour now. It really is so much faster, and I think that's good, and it helps the process. Even if you find, I think Adnor said there, even if you send it and it's a no, at least you know what you're not making, and at least you can guide you where you're going. If you send it straight away,
You were more creative, but you got to know on your creativity.
yeah, you got to know on it straight away. But you know at least what the customer doesn't want, and I think narrowing down what they don't want and what they do want is part of that process. And they want to think that they've just knocked up on AI. It's also, you need to, I think as Noor was saying there, it's a tool. It's not going to magically happen. You need to know what you're asking for, what types of materials, what expectations you're going to go, what can be achieved. And you also don't want to create something as a visual aid that can't be manufactured. There's no point sending it saying, I love that, but you can't make it. So that's where I think, again, the creative side of it, a designer can use it as a tool to create an image and know that that can be manufactured, as opposed to creating something that can't be done. And that's why I think it's a helpful tool.
And you created this new process by yourself. And I'm going to turn back to the vendor world. So we are having those use cases that we are pre-designing and pre-baking for our customers, so that we're providing support, guide rails, best practices on how to leverage AI for a given process. What about Microsoft? How are you doing this?
Oh, great questions.
For the SMB business.
Of course, it's our mission is for every person, every organization, SME and large.
Yeah.
So Microsoft provides a massive ecosystem built around AI and using AI. And this is from M365 Copilot, Copilot Chat, Copilot Studio, so that you can truly democratize AI and democratize agents, so that everyone in the organization can actually start building agents that would work for them, for their style, for their skills, for their capabilities, and the outcomes that they want to achieve. But also Microsoft is offering something for the pro coders. So if you want to use and build your own kind of agents in a more pro-code approach, this is where Azure AI agents are in place. This is where AI Foundry is built for this particular purpose. But also Microsoft doesn't do that from the top. We offer the platform that helps you to build on top and offer the security and governance that is over it. And this is where Microsoft Learn is having a plethora of resources around white papers, best practices, what to do, what not to do, and equally how you can secure that in compliance with regulatory requirements that will come. Regulators are catching up on the fact that AI is coming.
Yes.
This is why you will start seeing more regulations coming around the world. It starts with the EU AI Act, and we'll see more and more popping all over the globe for this. And Microsoft is able to help our customers, SME and large, to be able to drive this with success.
Yeah, no, I think even Microsoft as well, it is achievable. It isn't a massive investment. I mean, that's what we found as well with Copilot. Again, it's only a couple of us using it, but I haven't got a fear about rolling that out. Whereas other kind of like larger can be a lot more investment, but it works. It works, which is, a testament to you guys.
Music to my ears.
Yeah, well done. It works.
So Joe, thank you very much. Noor, thank you. It was great. It was very insightful. So maybe to summarize, first of all, AI is not just for big corporations. Joe is a perfect example. 50 individuals in your organization, and you're gaining competitive differentiation through AI in your creativity, in your performance. So this is for every single business. 95% of the SMB business sees benefit in implementing AI. Second big topic, yes, there is some areas of concern, but we can handle them. They can be about security, they can be about job replacement. That's just not the concern. There's a lot of concerns which needs to be addressed, but the fundamental is all about the mindset. It's all about how we put our toes in the water.
Yeah.
Our first try, just try it. You said just try it,
Just
go for
try.
it.
Yeah.
It's all about going over those concerns to realize the value and the benefit of AI. Third, you showed it very clearly, all those SME business you're building and you're transforming your organization, but it's not a big bang. It is nimble. We go step by step. We go process by processes. Goals by goal is really what Noah was guiding us. We have to make it a tool to help us in our everyday work, to empower people, not to change the strategy of your organization. Last point, Noah is sharing example of how Microsoft or our Access are giving you the infrastructure, the tools, and the best practice in order to make your first steps into this journey of AI and augmenting your business. So leverage really what we are doing and what we have to offer as software vendors to be able to help you and guide you within this journey. Access is committed to this journey within our suite of products. Obviously, Evo being our platform, we are all embedded into this journey within the company, but outside in, taking your business processes within the organization and helping you transform them and accelerate them. So thank you for watching. Leverage us, engage on our website, engage with our teams. We are all here to make this transformation happen for SMB. This is a mission of Access to really accelerate our people and have the freedom to do more. Thank you for watching.